hover over the clip and you see something like this, when you're extending this is extending the actual video duration without affecting the speed. You want to come up here until you get this kind of arrow, and then if you take it out, then you're slowing the clip down. There are a lot of weirdities that I'm facing with DaVinci, which is why this feature really needs to go away. I'm being very, very serious. Where the selected thing, if you go into Fusion, it just brings new nodes and that thing as a new Fusion clip. Just stop it. Okay, we're good to go. Om Namah Shivaya, good morning. Welcome back to In the Khud. This is October 27, 2023. 11:09 a.m. and in this video I'm gonna share another failed attempt to making a render for the full-time job completely inside DaVinci Resolve, and I've started to really think about this, that is it really worth the switch, or I can just stay with Premiere and After Effects and just deal with the atrocities of the Adobe Dynamic Link. We'll find out what, at least I have some things that I've learned in DaVinci which is worth documenting. One thing I am yet to figure out in this is, when I do things using these fusion compositions and stuff, where do they actually end up going? Like, for example, I made an entire cutout thing which was not very good, but it was kind of like a lot of effort that I put, and it was in one of these fusion compositions. But now every single time, what is this? You see this weird thing that DaVinci does, is it kind of scrolls these down weirdly. Okay, so this was Fusion Composition 1. I'm going to select this and come into my Fusion tab, and you see no nodes. I don't know where that is. The entire work that I did, come into no nodes. So this is something that's really, really bugging me. I'm not sure what to do with this nonsense, that my entire node tree that I made, like there's another Fusion Composition, come into Fusion tab. This one seems to have the magic mask on it, but that is it. I don't know where the other Fusion compositions are. Fusion clips. Okay, so Fusion clip 1, Fusion clip 2, Fusion clip 3. It's not that complicated what I'm asking for. I'm just trying to tell you, like, if I double click here in the Fusion tab, why can't you open the Fusion clip here and tell me, like, show me whatever nodes there were? Or is it that all of the progress that I've done is gone, it's lost forever? That can't be the case, right? But it's just weird, like, you do not understand, I do not understand where all of that stuff is. So I don't even know how to document now what I have. Few things that I want to document are independent of this situation. First thing was speed ramp. I'm gonna bring this up. So speed ramp, how do you speed ramp inside of DaVinci? Let's say this clip, for example, if I say Control R, that brings up this speed change thing. And let me take these and move them ahead so you can adjust the speed. This drop down here is kind of important and it's getting cut. You want to come in here and you can say change speed. So you can reset it to 100%. So you do Control R and you get the option for speed change. This is like 100 FPS footage that is playing on a 25 FPS timeline. So with Control R, if you hover over the clip and you see something like this, when you're extending this is extending the actual video duration without affecting the speed. You want to come up here until you get this kind of arrow, and then if you take it out, then you're slowing the clip down. So I have double the speed, so I can take it down to 50%. This is like one standard way of doing slow-mo, where you reduced half of the clip and it's working just fine because we have double the frame rate. Another way is, obviously, we want to do a speed ramp. Okay, so how do you do speed ramps? In Premiere, you come in here and say right click, time remap, enable speed, something like that. So the way you do that over here is all of this is happening through this toggle here. So you come in here and say add speed point. That's same as pressing P and adding a speed point. And then come in here and say add speed point. Okay, so you have two speed points now. You want to right click on the clip and say real time curves, which will open another kind of graph editor at the bottom. And what you can do is, for these, so sorry, for the middle, you can come in here and change speed to 400%. Now my problem here is when you do this in Premiere, you get this kind of line here which you can drag up and down, and basis that the speed of the clip or the ramp in between will change. But I don't see any kind of option for that here. So maybe it's this thing. Okay, yeah, it's the graph. Okay, we're learning things while documenting. So let's say I took that up to like 210%. Okay, so by default, this is not like ramping. It's just, if you look at the curve, it's just coming up linearly, speeding up. It's not even linear, it's like a hold keyframe. So from this point to this point, we just went to 206% directly. So obviously that's not what we want. If you want to make it a ramp curve, you want to select this and click on this button here. That'll give you a curve. Select this, it's linear, you make it like Bezier, I think, and you adjust these just like you would in Premiere, and now you have like a speed ramp effect happening. So that's how you do speed ramp inside of DaVinci Resolve. Let's say I wanted to do a thing where I'm at the start of the frame and I want to add a freeze frame and then start from there, because that's very useful. So again, same thing, come in here and on this thing and come in and say freeze frame. So now that will freeze frame. This is, I think, a lot intuitive as compared to Premiere, because in Premiere I don't quite understand like what the freeze frame or hold frame segment does, and it just messes the entire timeline for some reason. But here it's very like understandable that up until here the frame is freezed and then from here we're starting. That was the second thing. The third thing I wanted to show is something called as how you can have like stacks of videos onto your timeline, because that's like a very cool kind of effect. So this kind of an effect where you have videos stacked on top of each other and you automatically get this grid kind of thing. It's, I would say, not difficult but kind of unnecessarily complicated to do it inside Premiere, but inside of DaVinci it's fairly simple. So you come into video and let me just take some random videos here, I don't know. So now we have this video. This is again my timeline which is playing. So one other important problem I feel is there is no way you can add something to the source. Like inside Premiere you can drag an effect onto the clip, and you can either drag it to the clip or you can drag to the source of the clip, which means that it will affect it throughout. But here I don't see an option, and online as well there doesn't seem to be an option to be able to do that. So you have to come in and manually select each clip on your timeline and change the rotation. If you know how to do it, please let me know. That'll be very helpful. And change the zoom and everything. So now this is your first clip. Okay, I'm gonna make that kind of 3 video effect. So you come into what? So yeah, the moment you come in here, it starts to like preview your go away effects, and you come into video transitions and search for collage. This is one more problem I have in DaVinci is when you search something, it only searches in this particular directory. It won't search everywhere, right? Throughout. Like why? It's just, I don't know, maybe there are settings to just not have this happen, but like especially coming from Premiere Pro and having been used to these things where you just search something here and it will just search throughout, right, all the folders. But you see here it will only search in the one which is highlighted, and you have to come to open effects and yeah, there is video collage. It's ridiculous, to be honest. Okay, I drag that on top here. Now you can come in and adjust the columns and everything. The way I did that is I took the columns to 1 and the rows to 3. Okay, and if I stagger horizontally, so if I go into tiles, I can come in and select tile 1, create background, create tile. So that, because that's tile 1, it will become that. It can be tile 2 or it can be tile 3. So that's tile 1, let's say, and preview layout. And then let's drag some other video and we're gonna apply the same kind of effect. That's the same process again. Apply the same effect. And yeah, okay, this is one interesting thing that I've learned is you can, inside DaVinci, you can come in here and Control C to copy this, and when you come into another clip you can say Alt V, so it comes up with this dialog box of paste attributes. So you can take video attributes like your transform and everything, and you can also do real-time effects. So when you apply this, it will automatically apply all of the effects that we just applied to the first one. So you just need to come into effects, into open effects, into tiles, and make this tile 2. So now this is tile 2. Again, when you scrub, it just does this weird minimizing and maximizing thing. There are a lot of weirdities that I'm facing with DaVinci, which is why in the end, because this is work and I can't like mess around or stuff, I ended up doing it inside Premiere and giving it, because that's something I've been doing. Like just do it inside Premiere. You maybe use After Effects somewhere, but I don't know, DaVinci is not working out for me very much. At least as of now, that's what the scene is. Again, because we have it in the clipboard, we can do Alt V and apply this and come into effects, tiles, and tile 3. So this is how you get this kind of stacked thing, which is collage kind of thing, which is one thing I wanted to document. So I wanted to do this kind of cutout effect where you see this thing comes in here and then you have these separated inside, like into separate layers. They come into position, and then the video plays, and then you have one frame which is separated like this, and then it plays. So of course I did it into Photoshop, just went away and like quickly made those cutouts and everything the way we do that using like your regular selection tools and everything. But I was thinking maybe we could avoid going to Photoshop and do it inside DaVinci straight away using the magic mask. And turns out that's a very bad idea. If my Fusion composition would open, which it is not, and I don't really have the time nor the effort to like recreate the entire thing again, I could show you that I took one frame. Okay, this is also one thing I want to document. How can you like take a single frame from your timeline or wherever and export it? Like if I want to export this frame, sadly enough, one of those DaVinci weirdities is you cannot come into File, Export, and Current Frame as still. It is doing it now. Earlier what was happening is inside my edit page it was not happening, so I had to go to the cut page and then it would do it. But anyway, it is happening now. So File, Export, and Current Frame as still, and then you can export this frame. And then what I did is inside my Fusion I brought that frame in. Oh wow, this feature really needs to go away inside DaVinci. I'm being very serious. Where the selected thing, if you go into Fusion, it just brings new nodes and that thing as a new Fusion clip. Just stop it. And I wish there is a way in settings where you can do it, but I'm not very sure like what. So I brought that single frame in here and like very tediously using magic mask. Magic mask is great for like videos and you want to do rotoscoping there, but for a single frame it's just so much unnecessary effort to do it inside using magic mask things. It just took so much time. And then the keyframes thing here inside Fusion is so much of a pain to like do things and navigate and keyframes and everything. The entire process is so much easier done using Photoshop and After Effects that I was a bit adamant that I want to try and I want to figure it out here, but I could not, so I just dropped it midway. That's where it is. And let me just check my Notion page if there's anything else that I also wrote down yesterday that I wanted to check. Okay, one thing is, if you see inside Premiere, you can always come in here and right click and see properties of the clip, or inside your media pool, whatever, you can see the properties of the clip. I don't know if it is there over here, I couldn't find it. But the way you do that inside DaVinci is you want to select something in your timeline and you come into your file tab here, and that will give you like everything like frame rate, resolution, and for example these clips, the one that I just now showed to you, which was I think another timeline, but anyway, let me select this particular clip, the one on the top. I can go into file, I can see it's at 25 fps and at 4K resolution and stuff like that. Alternatively, you can go into this page, which is the media page, and on the bottom right you're going to see all the information about it. So that was a speed ramp, collage effect, export frame as still. So I think that concludes my current situation with DaVinci, where initially I was very excited about the fact that Fusion is so similar to what things can be done inside After Effects, although it's a little complicated. I was buying the fact that I will go that extra mile if it helps me avoid the Adobe Dynamic Link, and just in the single software I can edit my video and that can be taken to Fusion to do VFX and like transitions and like fancy After Effects stuff. But it's not going it's not going as planned, which is fine, because this is just documenting, and it's not like, yes, I have made an investment in getting the DaVinci Studio version, but that's a one-time pay. And I think right now how I want to use DaVinci is simple, like single things. For example, if a single video needs to be rotoscoped, or do that inside DaVinci using Magic Mask. Or I think I really love the stabilization feature inside DaVinci, where you just like press through a few toggles and you get very good results, as compared to Premiere's warp stabilizer is a nope stabilizer. You should not use it. So there are these little things which I really like about DaVinci, but as of now I'm not really sure if I can switch to that as a complete package. Maybe, who knows, later something comes up and I'm like, something I'm doing fundamentally wrong here with my approach to working that is causing the hindrance, but we'll see how that turns out. Thanks so much for being in the Khud. I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.